Between 2012 and 2014, quarterbacks practically stopped throwing to one side of the field, not because of a scheme, not because of a system, but because of one man, Richard Sherman. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the most athletic, but during his prime, Richard Sherman was the most feared cornerback in football. He transformed from a fifth-round pick into the loudest, smartest, and most dominant defensive back in the game. His story isn't just about talent, it's about intelligence, preparation, and an unshakable belief in himself. Sherman was born and raised in Compton, California, a neighborhood better known for producing rappers than NFL stars. But Sherman defied expectations early. He was the salutatorian of his high school class at Dominguez High and scored over 1,400 on his SATs. He wasn't just book smart, he was driven. That drive took him to Stanford, where he initially played wide receiver. As a freshman, he led the team in receiving yards. But after a knee injury and a shift in the team's depth chart, he made the rare transition to cornerback, a move that would change his life. Most players would have resisted such a drastic position switch. Sherman embraced it. He brought a receiver's mentality to the defensive side, which gave him an edge in anticipating routes. By his senior year, he was one of the most intelligent and instinctive corners in college football. Still, NFL scouts had doubts. He was tall, lanky, and ran a 4.56 40-yard dash at the combine, not blazing speed. He fell to the 5th round of the 2011 NFL Draft, taken 154th overall by the Seattle Seahawks. That chip on his shoulder, it never left. In his rookie season, Sherman wasn't supposed to start, but injuries gave him a shot, and once he got on the field, he made it impossible to take him off. He picked off 4 passes and defended 17 more, making it clear he wasn't just some late-round project. Then came 2012. Sherman didn't just break out, he erupted. 8 interceptions, 24 passes defended. Quarterbacks started taking note, receivers started avoiding his side. By 2013, he was the centerpiece of the Legion of Boom, a secondary that terrified offenses. Alongside Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, Sherman helped Seattle finish with the league's top-ranked defense in both yards and points. The Legion of Boom wasn't just good, it was historic. The chemistry between Sherman, Chancellor, Thomas, and Byron Maxwell was built on trust, film study, and violence. They played with swagger, with fury, and with surgical precision. But make no mistake, Sherman was the brain of the operation. He diagnosed plays pre-snap. He studied splits and tendencies. He wasn't just reacting, he was anticipating. That 2013 season was Sherman's masterpiece. He led the NFL in interceptions with 8, but it wasn't just the picks, it was the fear, the respect. Teams stopped testing him. When quarterbacks did throw his way, they posted a passer rating of just 47.3. He wasn't just covering receivers, he was erasing them. But no moment defined him more than the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. With the game on the line, Colin Kaepernick launched a pass toward Michael Crabtree in the end zone. Sherman was there. He leaped, extended his left hand, and tipped the ball to teammate Malcolm Smith for the game-sealing interception. It was brilliant, it was iconic, and what followed became legend. I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're gonna get. That post-game outburst, it wasn't just emotion. It was raw confidence backed by performance. Sherman had just sent his team to the Super Bowl, and the world knew his name. In Super Bowl 48, Sherman didn't record an interception. He didn't need to. Peyton Manning barely looked his way. The Broncos' offense was obliterated. Seattle won 43-8. The Legion of Boom had slammed the door shut on one of the most explosive offenses in NFL history. But Sherman's greatness wasn't just about physical ability. He played chess when others played checkers. He knew route combinations. He read quarterbacks' eyes. He recognized offensive tendencies and baited throws. His preparation was obsessive. He once said he watched more film than anyone else in the league, and it showed. Teammates marveled at his intelligence. Coaches trusted his instincts. Opponents feared his mouth as much as his talent. He was vocal, brash, and unapologetically smart. Trash talk was part of his arsenal, but he always backed it up. And yet, injuries come for everyone. In 2017, he tore his Achilles. That kind of injury has ended careers, especially for corners, but Sherman wasn't done. He signed with the 49ers in 2018. Many doubted him, but by 2019, he was once again among the league's best. He allowed a passer rating under 50 when targeted and helped lead San Francisco to the Super Bowl. Even in his 30s, post-Achilles tear, Sherman was still a top-tier corner. Off the field, Sherman made his presence felt as well. He graduated from Stanford with a degree in communications and later served on the NFL Players Association Executive Committee. He became a regular on sports talk shows, using his voice to speak out on player rights, social issues, and the mental aspects of football. He was more than an athlete, he was a thinker, a leader, and a brand. By the time his career began winding down, the numbers were undeniable. 37 career interceptions, over 100 passes defended, 5 Pro Bowl selections, 3 first-team All-Pro honors, a Super Bowl ring, and perhaps most impressive, during his prime years, he allowed a passer rating under 50 in multiple seasons. He didn't just dominate, he redefined the position. Sherman wasn't the kind of corner who shadowed top receivers all over the field. He stayed on one side, forced you to play honest, and punished you if you didn't. When you talk about the greatest corners of all time, names like Darrelle Revis, Sanders, Champ Bailey, and Charles Woodson get mentioned. Sherman belongs in that conversation. He didn't have Revis's island or Sanders' flair, but he had something else: longevity, leadership, and elite production at the highest level. Richard Sherman's prime wasn't a flash in the pan. It was a sustained era of control, intelligence, and intensity. He didn't just play the game, he understood it on a higher level. He was the embodiment of mental and physical dominance. The guy who made you think twice before calling a pass play to his side. The one who redefined how a corner could lead a defense, not just through talent, but through intellect and voice. And when we talk about the greatest corners of all time, his name belongs in the conversation, because for 3 straight years, Richard Sherman didn't just shut down receivers, he shut down the NFL.
I'm just looking at my brody, silence at the time, and no girl don't even know me. I'm always on the mind, I'm just out here getting money, and so that's on my mind.